Well, good morning to my YouTube channel. We'll be getting started here shortly. Let me, okay, we're gonna, so I got them up and running. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning Serendipity Sunday seminar. I pray things are well with each of you as you join me this morning. If you would be so kind and make sure if there's questions that you have, you can jot them down, or if you want to put something into the feed, feel free to do that. Call someone up and let them know that the seminar is about to start this morning. For those of you who are on my YouTube channel this morning, I want to say welcome, and I pray things are well with each of you as you join in. The volume should be good, and if there's any concerns or questions, go ahead and put it in the live chat there. Let's see, we have a couple people who are with us this morning on YouTube, but that'll populate as the seminar proceeds this morning. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Give me 10 seconds of silence. That way I can have a pause to know where to start editing. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Serendipity Sunday. I am your host this morning. Each and every Sunday, we're out here. It's a place where we take time to pause, reflect, and prepare for the amazing opportunities ahead. Today, we're going to explore 10 transformational steps to end 2024 strong and to manifest or bring into fruition your best 2025. Together, we're going to discover practical ways to align our inner world with our outer reality using timeless principles and actionable steps. So, as we go through each point, I'll share top stories, perhaps some anecdotes, quotes, and some tools that you can use to make your 2024 or bring your 2024 to a powerful close and cross the threshold into 2025 with a sense of direction. So let's start this morning by centering ourselves with a deep breath. Take a big breath in and hold it. Now exhale and just continue to breathe in and out at your own pace, being present to this morning, right here, right now, wherever you are. If you're with us this morning, don't multitask. Take some time today, this morning, set aside these 30 minutes that you can really engage the conversation. You could leave this morning with some actionable steps that you can take to close out 2024. Yes, this is the week before what we historically celebrate as Christmas. We go into Kwanzaa. So that means we're practically into the last 7 days of this year. And I wanted to bring a teaching this morning, something that will be relevant. So this morning's topic is 10 transformational steps to end 2024 strong and to manifest your best 2025. Again, thank you for joining us. I am your host, Gregory Stanton, also known as Asar. So I got 10 points I want to cover this morning. So let's start with the first one. The very first thing that you want to do is consider doing or conducting a life audit. So our first step is to take inventory of where we are. You are here. Imagine you're an architect, perhaps reviewing blueprints. You can't build the life you desire without knowing your foundation. I want you to reflect on your personal, professional, spiritual, and financial areas. Consider what's working, what needs to change. Um, this past year, I worked with a client who realized that through her life audit that she had conducted last year, that she had been pouring all her energy into work, but had been neglecting her relationships. And with that awareness, she set a goal for 2024 to rebuild connections with her family. And she brought the year practically to an end. Somewhere towards the middle of this year, she began to feel more fulfilled. Relationships began to blossom because she had set it as a goal, because she had taken the end of the year inventory. So, what is a life audit, you may ask? I want you to consider doing one this week. A life audit is a reflective, structured assessment of your current circumstances, goals, and overall satisfaction in key areas. It's a tool to help you evaluate what is working well in your life, what needs improvement, what changes you might need to make to align with your desired life, your desired vision. So think of it as an honest inventory of your life, not a judging tool, but to really get an inventory or get a bead on where you are. It's similar to a business audit, but focus on personal growth and fulfillment. The purpose of a life audit is to create an awareness and clarity, enabling you to make intentional decisions and align your daily actions with your long-term goals and values. I'm sure each of you have some of those. It's not about judgment or guiding or being guilty, but about understanding where you are and taking empowered steps towards creating that life you desire. Now, when we're talking about doing a life audit, there are some key areas. A comprehensive life audit typically examines the following areas. It examines your personal growth and development. Are you growing in mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Do you challenge yourself to learn new skills or expand your perspective? Are you engaging in activities that fulfill your passion and your curiosity? It includes your career and professional life. Are you satisfied with work or your career path? Do you feel valued and purposeful in your professional role? Are your career goals aligned with your long-term vision, especially at this point in your life? It includes your financial health. Do you have a clear understanding of your income, expenses, your savings, and your investments? Are you on track with financial goals like saving for retirement or debt reduction or building wealth? Does your financial situation support your desired life? This is some of the things you want to assess. Also, your physical and mental health. Here you're looking at, are you prioritizing your physical health through exercise, nutrition, and rest? As life happens, these things can get away from you. In that same domain, are you managing stress effectively, particularly during this time of year? Do you feel energetic and resilient? These are the questions you want to ask yourself inside of the physical and mental health domain of your life audit. Another area, area 5, is your relationships and social life. Are your relationships supportive, nurturing, mutually fulfilling? Do you spend quality time with loved ones, families, and friends? Are you part of a community or communities or social circles that inspire and uplift you, encourage you, support you? As far as your spirituality and connections in this domain, you're looking at, do you feel connected to something greater than yourself? It could be your faith, your philosophy, your inner sense of purpose. Do you take time to meditate, pray, spend just reflective time walking in nature? Are you aligned with your core values? These are some of the things you're going to look at inside of your spiritual domain. The 7th domain you want to explore in this life audit is your recreation and leisure. All work and no play is not good. Do you take time for hobbies, travel, activities that bring you joy beyond the work you do? Are you finding balance between work and play? That's called that work-life balance or integration. Do you feel rejuvenated after your leisure activities? That's some of the questions you want to ask yourself in that domain. The eighth domain that we're looking at is that is the environment and your surroundings. Does your home or your workspace reflect your goals, your energy? Are your surroundings organized and conducive to your well-being? Do you feel comfortable and inspired by your environment? That's the eighth domain that you want to audit. And lastly, you want to audit your life purpose and goals. Are you clear about your life, your purpose, your mission, your why? Are your daily activities aligned with this purpose? Do you feel that you are giving all that you have towards your goals, your purpose, and that you're living authentically? Now, that's important. So this week, I'm going to encourage you to perform a life audit. And how you do this is you're going to set aside some uninterrupted time to reflect and journal about each area. Now, you may say, this is the worst time of the year. This is the best time of the year. Don't get caught up in all of the hype, be it Christmas, be it Kwanzaa, all of those holidays or celebratory times tend to pull on you to cause more stress than they really should. So I want you to carve out some time. And I want you to come up with a rating scale. Well, I'm going to provide, for those of you who requested, I will provide you a guideline tool that you can use to do this audit. And it's going to give you the opportunity to evaluate or to rate your satisfaction in all 9 of those areas. And from this tool, I want you to identify your strengths, areas of dissatisfactions, and areas for potential improvement. You're going to create a plan to address 1 or 2 key areas with actionable steps. Now, you're going to then revisit your audit regularly throughout the year, and perhaps every quarter in the upcoming year, to track your progress and to make adjustments accordingly. So, a life audit is a powerful exercise to use to gain self-awareness and to set the stage for intentional and meaningful transformation in your life. Now, the second thing we want to look at is 10 things we really should consider doing as we close out 2024. First being the life audit. Second being release what no longer serves you. What must I let go? So as we close the year, it's essential to let go of what's holding you back, what's weighing you down. This could be a limiting belief, a habit, or even a relationship. One of the individuals I follow says to us, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Change starts from the inside out, not from the outside in. So that's really important. So what would it feel like to be free from whatever burden you have? So what I found when describing how it would feel to live in a state of your wish fulfilled, it's essential to use vivid sensory and emotional language that will fully capture the depth of your experience. I have found that many individuals, when it comes to describing what it will feel like, they're limited. They're limited in their words. So what I've put together is some words, and I'll share those with you also. The words to help you describe certain feelings. So example, words to describe fulfillment and joy. So don't just say, I'll be joy. I want to be joyful. But words such as elated, euphoric, blissful, radiant, overjoyed, jubilant, ecstatic, grateful, content, and even exuberant. These words describe fulfillment and joy. And when you say them, they make you feel a certain way. So let's look at words to describe peace and serenity. Somebody may say, my goal is to have peace. What would it feel like? It can feel like calm, tranquil, serene, grounded, harmonious, relaxed, reassured, at ease, balance. Again, these are some words that you can use to describe peace and serenity. Now, I'm sharing this because I have found that when it comes to emotions and feelings, many times the vocabulary is limited. Words to describe confidence and empowerment. You can use confident, empowered, capable, determined, unstoppable, resilient, self-assured, bold, invincible, accomplished. So those are some words to describe confidence. How about abundance and prosperity? For many of you, you want to live as if you are abundant and living in a land of prosperity. So here's words you can begin to add to your vocabulary. Words such as overflowing, rich, plentiful, prosperous, luxurious, lavish. One of my favorite is affluent, flourishing, rewarded. Those are words that you want. So these are just some words, but you want to find words that help you describe the feeling as if you are already abundant, living in abundance and prosperity. You can do the same for if you're looking for love and love connections. You use words like you feel loved, cherished, nurtured, valued, accepted, supported, uplifted, connected, intimate, harmonized, aligned. These are some of the words you can use there. When we're talking about words to describe excitement and enthusiasm, these are words like enthralled, excited, vibrant, passionate, inspired, thrilled, energized, motivated. Now, these are some of the words that we probably don't use. We have them in our vocabulary, but we don't use them enough as frequently as we should. So I want you to begin to expand your word base when it comes to feeling and when it comes to living as if it's already happened. Words to describe freedom and liberation. Words like unburdened, limitless, unrestricted, open, flexible. Now, also words for gratitude and appreciation. Instead of just saying I'm thankful, I'm grateful, you can say I'm blessed, appreciative, you're honored, you're acknowledged, humble, enriched, fulfilled, satisfied. Now, these are just some of the words that I would encourage you all to add to your vocabulary when it comes to this area in 2024, bringing to a close, wrapping up 2024. You want to be able to release what no longer serves you. And as you do that, you're going to write it down. You're going to write down. Matter of fact, take time right now. Think of one thing you're ready to release. It may be it's the belief that you're not enough or a habit of procrastinating. Okay, later I want you to, you can let it go in some symbolic way. You can write it on a piece of paper, you can burn it, you can shred it up, you can bury it, do whatever you feel makes you feel accomplished in that area. So we want to be mindful. Once we do that, we want to come away with what does it feel like to live in the state of my wish fulfilled. Okay. It's essential that you do this. And that when you're doing this, you use, again, vivid sensory and emotional language. And that's what I shared with you a little earlier. So that's why I share those things, because as you begin to move into this practice, you want to have the word base that's supported. So instead of writing, I feel good about my dream life, you would expand it into something like, I feel blissful, confident, and free, as though the weight of the world has been lifted. My heart feels light, and my soul feels expansive. See how that different that feels? Instead of writing, I am happy in my ideal relationship, because sometimes we lazy, we just do the bare minimum. It says instead of writing just something that simple, you could say something like, I feel cherished, deeply connected, and loved. Each day is filled with harmony and joy and unwavering support. So I want to encourage each of you to begin to choose words that resonate deeply with you and fully embody these words and for their emotional and sensory essence that they cultivate. This is going to help you solidify the connections between your feelings and the manifested reality to bring it from the invisible to the visible. Another thing you want to do as you wrap up 2024, you want to establish your feeling, as we were talking about, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. All year we've been talking about Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard teaches that imagining the feeling of your wish fulfilled is the key to manifestation. Don't just think about what you desire. You got to feel it. Close your eyes and imagine it's already yours. What does it feel like? There you go. You pull those words in from earlier to live in this reality. That's really important. What does it feel like to have this thing operate now? Not in the future, but now. I had a client who was a student, and she shared with me that she visualized herself as a successful entrepreneur. She started this in her senior year of college. She'd wake up every day imagining her gratitude for freedom and purpose. And by the time that she graduated, within that year, she had left. Once she graduated from school, she left that menial job that she was on that was assisting through school. And she actually started her own thriving business because she had done the work. And she was doing the work from the place as a wish fulfilled. Now, what does your wish fulfilled feel like? Now, I want you to know that. What does your wish fulfilled feel like? Does it feel peace? Does it feel joy? Does it feel abundance? Okay, think about that. The fourth thing you want to do as we move into the end of this year, you want to create a gratitude and growth journal. We know that gratitude is a magnet for miracles. It's a magnet for manifestation. Take time to list what you're grateful for this year. Pair that with growth. What challenges shaped you? Another writer that I often read, he says he's a difficult read, but his name is Judge Troward. Okay, he says principle is not bound by precedent. In other words, you're not defined by your past, but you are by how you've grown. You're defined by what come forth from the experience of the past. So I want to ask you, what are you most proud of in 2024? Think about it. What challenge became your greatest teacher this year? I want you to identify at least one today. I want you to identify, what am I most proud of in 2024? What challenge became my greatest teacher? Take it on today. The fifth thing you want to consider doing as you wrap up this year is redesign your environment. Yes, your surroundings influence your mindset. You want to declutter your space, refresh your decor, or create a vision board. Now, I'm not really heavy on vision boards because people say they're too static. But I'm on you to redesign your the living environment, the work environment. And as it relates to your mind, I want you to declutter your mind. I want you to, what's taking up space? What are you worrying about? What things are you taking on that you don't need to take on? You want to know that your environment should inspire, and support your goals. So imagine waking up every day in a space that energizes you. We spend so much time in our homes. And if you have a favorite room in your home, start with that room. If it's your bedroom, declutter it. Get the TV out of it. Make it a space that's comfortable. A few months ago, I give you an example. A few months ago, I realized that my own workspace was contributing to some of the stress rather than supporting my productivity. My desk was cluttered with papers, gadgets, and even things unrelated to work, books, and everything. The lighting was kind of harsh, dim in certain areas of my office. And I often was feeling overwhelmed just being in my office, scared to the point where I didn't even want to be there. So I decided to make some changes. And what I did, I started by decluttering, removing everything that didn't serve. Okay, that was important, or did it serve a purpose in my work and what I was creating? Then I added some small things, small touches. I put a plan on my desk. I rearranged my desk so that it at work my desk faces the window. I made sure that there was nothing there. Here in my office where I create from, I made sure that even though the way my computer is situated, I can see the outside. I can see the plants. I can see the lights coming in. So I decluttered. Then I added just some little things that made it seems like my office was more workable. And so these small redesigns made my workspace feel different. My productivity began to change. I had a desire to come back to the creative space. So what's one small change you can make in your environment this week to create a space that supports your goals and it energizes you? I want you to reflect on that. And I want you to really think about it. What small change can I make? And then you'll realize that the more you make small changes, you'll be in a position to make that big change. So the sixth thing you want to take on this week within the next 7 days, you want to set a spiritual practice for renewal. Many of you who are on this call, one of your spiritual practices is that you join me Monday through Friday for meditation. I'm surprised at the number of people that I reach, and we only average about 12 to 15 people a day who are committed to coming out to start their day in a spiritual way. And if you're that busy that you can't start from the spiritual, then you're going to find yourself behind the 8 ball all the time. So daily spiritual practices ground us and they connect us to our divine self, to our inner wisdom, whether it's meditation, prayer, or morning affirmations. These moments of connection will help you align with your higher possibility. Judge Troward, in one of the books I was reading, he states that the spirit is the creative principle. So if the spirit is a creative principle, we need to start our day in spirit. And if we do that, we'll find that everything will unfold beautifully. So I want to right now take a couple minutes and take you through a guided meditation because many of you you don't participate in some of the other things I do, so you've never had this experience. So I want to take you through a guided vision for the year ahead. Okay, so let's take a moment to center ourselves, embracing gratitude for all that has been and setting up a vision for all that is to come. So right here, I want you to just close your eyes unless you're driving. But if you can, I want you to close your eyes and get comfortable in your chair that you're in. And I want you to take a big breath in through your nostrils and slowly release it. Another big breath in through your nostrils and slowly release it through your mouth. And continue to breathe as we begin. Taking this next breath, as you exhale, let yourself feel grounded in this moment. Think of one thing you are deeply grateful for in 2024. It could be a person, an experience, or even a small victory. Continue to breathe. Let the feeling of gratitude fill your heart. Notice how this gratitude feels: warm, light, and peaceful. Breathing in deeply and let it settle into every part of your being. Now expand your gratitude outward. Think of all the lessons you've learned, the challenges you've overcome, the ways you've grown this year. Whisper to yourself, thank you. Thank you for this journey. Take a deep breath in. Now release it. Now let's envision for the year ahead. Now gently shift your focus to the year ahead. Picture yourself in 2025, living, experiencing your best life. See yourself happy, filled with joy, aligned with your purpose. What does this version of you look like? What are you doing? Who are you with? Feel the joy and confidence that's radiating from within you. Imagine now the peace of knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, step by step. Breathe deeply into this vision and let yourself feel gratitude for the life you're creating. Now whisper to yourself, and so it is. It's done. Thank you. Hold on to this feeling for a few more moments, letting it anchor within you. Breathing in and out. Now, when you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the space that you're in. Wiggle your fingers or your toes. And when you feel ready, simply open your eyes. Know that you carry this gratitude and vision with you as you move forward into this new year. Now, take one more deep breath and release it. I want to thank those of you who participated in this brief moment of reflection. I hope you feel grounded and inspired as we move into the next part of this session. Okay, the seventh thing we want to consider is plan, rest, and renewal. Yes, plan to rest and renew. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Schedule time for renewal now, before burnout hits you. Maybe it's a weekend retreat or simply unplugging from any events, okay? Or unplugging from things and stepping into the present of the evening or the solitude of this day. Rest gives your mind and your body the clarity to move forward. One of the individuals you've heard me talk about over the years is Abraham or Esther Hicks. Esther Hicks often emphasizes the importance of aligning with your natural state of being. Alignment, attunement, one. Many times we talk about being aligned with, attuned to God, as if we're aligning with something outside of ourselves. What this really is talking about is aligning with yourself. Okay? And so we want to learn that we must get to this natural state of being. And we do that through alignment. She reminds us, when you feel tired, it is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is your body and your spirit asking to be recalibrated. Rest allows you to reconnect with your inner source, and it's the flow of energy that creates worlds. It is in rest that clarity and inspiration are born. Esther Hicks encourages us to listen to our emotions and our physical needs as guidance from our inner being. By honoring rest, you open yourself up to reflective thoughts and receiving clarity energy, and inspiration, which is needed in order to move forward. So rest, sleep, relaxation. So I want to ask you this. When it comes to planning your rest and your renewal and being committed to that, what would it look like for you? What would change? Is it a quiet evening set aside once a week or 3 days a week? Are you resting with a book? Are you taking a walk in nature? Are you sitting still? Are you listening or looking at something that makes you laugh? Are you listening to music you enjoy? So when you can plan time for rest in your schedule for your week, you're being deliberate and intentional. Now, I want you to reflect on that. And I encourage you to think about that as we wrap up today. The eighth thing I want you to consider taking on as you wrap up 2024 is to begin to define your 2025 big picture. Don't get into the weeds, don't get into the details, but I want you to define the big picture. Begin with the end in mind. Imagine it's 360 some odd days from right now. That would mean that you're ending 2025. What do you desire 2025 to look like? What do you want to accomplish in 2025? What things do you want to be behind you? Don't just think about it. This morning, I want you to take time to write it down. I want you to create a vision, okay? Draw it up in your mind, envision it. Then let your imagination run free. As Walt Disney often said, if you can dream it, you can do it. That's important. Now, for those of you who are participating this morning and you desire some assistance by way of a worksheet and handouts, if you send me a text message or email, I'll make sure that gets out to you. When I edit this today, I will make sure that that information is provided to you also. Now, a nice thing you want to do when we talk about 2025, before I go into the ninth thing, and we're talking about defining your big picture. So sometimes we'll just sit back and we'll imagine or we'll think about, but why don't you get quiet and ask Source, what represents your highest and greatest good for 2025? What things should I go after? Because sometimes you can be living at such a state where you just go with the flow, whatever it is. But sometimes Source will drop inside of you a burning desire. And then you know that's part of the big picture for the year to come. So I want you to get quiet. Don't just automatically assume you know what that thing you want to accomplish. And then you want to ask yourself, the thing that I desire to do, be, have, experience, is that coming from the inside or is it motivated by the outside? Is it because someone else has it or everybody has it, or that seems to be the way to go, the place to be? So make sure you're creating 2025 from the inside out and not from the outside in. So the ninth thing we want to do during this end of the year is you want to build your soulful support system. Yeah, say that with me. I'm going to build a soulful support system. Now, transformation isn't a solo journey. All of our transformation is tied to the people we interact with. They are all characters in the play of life. So your transformation journey isn't a solo journey. So you want to make sure you intentionally and deliberately surround yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, celebrate you, acknowledge you, okay? Not shade you, okay? Not use you, but appreciate you. Who are your mentors? Do you have a mentor? Who are your friends? Can you differentiate between who are friends or who are associates or who are people you're just around? What groups are you part of? Do you have groups that support you and your vision? Are you the only one in the group that feels and thinks the way you feel and think? And if so, they don't support you, then why are you part of that group? Sometimes you may need to change your circles. Now, I heard it said, your destiny is always tied to a destination that's somewhere other than you are. So if you don't have a supportive group of friends, mentors, individuals, then you want to begin to seek them out and make that a goal this year. I'm going to show myself friendly. I'm going to put myself in spaces where I'm celebrated. So take a moment. Right now, I want you to list 3 people or communities you can rely on for encouragement. That should be easy. You should be able to write down 3 names of people or communities you can rely on for encouragement. Encouragement doesn't mean they're just supporting you in whatever you decide to do, but they will give you constructive observation. Okay? Okay. So this is one thing I want you to really do this week. Now, the last thing as we wrap up this morning is to commit to lifelong learning. There is what's his name? One of the individuals who I follow, he talks about being open at the top. Where is it? That's the Science of Mind guy. He talks about being open. Ernest Holmes. He talks about being open at the top. That is, you're always learning. Growth is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. So I want you to commit to learning something new. Take a course, read a book, attend a workshop. Remember, every step towards forward is step towards progress. There's a quote by Carter G. Woodson, which I've kind of reworked. It says the essence of real education is to inspire continual growth, starting where you are, learning what you need, and using the knowledge to create a better life. This rephrased version aligns perfectly with the point about lifelong learning. It emphasizes education as an ongoing, transformative process that fuels personal development and empowers you to improve your circumstances and yourself. Lifelong learning, not just in the classroom, but also in the world in which you live. So what skill or knowledge will you invest in 2025? Think about that. So as I conclude today, I hope that you've gained through what I've shared, you've gained clarity, inspiration, and practical steps to close out 2024 strong. And as you enter 2025, you enter with some intentions. Remember, transformation begins within. Imagine boldly, live life fully, embrace the joy of creation. Thank you for sharing your journey with me this morning. So in closing, before we go into the green room, I would like to close with this affirming prayer. So take a big breath in and just close your eyes as we align in oneness of being, oneness of spirit. Divine Spirit, source of all wisdom, creativity, and strength, we've come together in gratitude for this sacred moment of reflection and renewal. We honor the journey that 2024 has presented, the lessons we've learned, the growth we've experienced, and the challenges that have shaped us into stronger and wiser beings. As we close this year, we release what no longer serves us, trusting that it has fulfilled its purpose. We embrace the power of transformation, knowing that within us lies the capacity to create lives of joy, peace, and abundance. So we affirm the vision for 2025, a year filled with purpose, passion, and progress. We commit to aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions and our highest expression of ourselves. Let us imagine boldly, love deeply, and live fully, trusting that each step forward is guided by a divine hand. Empower us to prioritize rest and renewal, to cultivate gratitude and growth, and to honor the call to lifelong learning. inspire each of us to create environments that uplift and support our dreams, to nurture our relationships that reflect the love and harmony within. May this affirming prayer anchor our intentions and ignite the courage within each of us to close 2024 with strength, clarity, grace, and peace to power. We leave this space with hearts open today, spirits renewed, and a commitment to step into our greatness. And so it is. Again, I thank each of you for being part of this transformative journey. May the seeds that we've planted take root and flourish as you move forward. So those of you who are now can stick around for a few minutes, let's go to the green room. And as you go to the green room and give some thought, or maybe you got a question, go ahead and prepare that question. Maybe you have a reflection. Whatever you have, go ahead and get it together, and we're going to visit those. But before we do that, I want to also encourage each of you, if you've been part of today's presentation, and you want to make sure you get the playback along with the supportive material that we've spoken about this morning, make sure you shoot me a text or email so I can ensure that you get it. All right. And secondly, why don't you consider ending this week with us Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can join us for our morning meditations. And you want to know more about it, go to oasisspiritualcenter.com, or you can go to New Thought Center. And you go there and you go over to the actual tab where it says the morning meditation. It has the phone numbers and everything you need to know. In addition, if this conversation this morning, if this information that I've shared has any value to you, consider sowing a seed into this ministry. You're not sowing a seed because we have shared with you a need, because we don't have a need. We believe that the universe meets our every need. But this opportunity to open up this portal where you can transmute what's in your possession, a portion of that, into the possession of this ministry, it affirms that you believe in the scripture that says, or the universal principle of giving and you shall receive. You sow into a fertile place and you shall reap a bountiful harvest. So if you desire to sow a seed, you can use our Cash App or our Zelle phone number, which is 708-368-1076. Again, and you can see it on the screen here shortly, 708-368-1076. All right. Thank all of you for participating in the offertory. Thank those of you who will align with us as we seek to close out 2024 in a deliberate, powerful, and intentional way. Thank you, Cheryl, for posting that number. Again, that number is 708-368-1076. And I'm going to post that number over here on the YouTube channel for our YouTube listeners and followers this morning. Let me find that, and I'll put that right there for you. And you should have it. So our conversation this morning is there, and the phone number is 708-368-1076 for the Zelle and the or Cash App. Awesome. Excellent. So let's see, do we have any dialogue this morning? I see I have one hand raised. Go ahead, Al. You have the mic.
Good day, brother. Sir, I want to send love and light to you and the entire Oasis community. I want to thank you for today's presentation. I really enjoyed it because I had started on doing my end of year business audit. And now you said that we should do a life audit.
Yes.
So I thank you for that. And I did have a couple of aha minutes, but because everything is so rich, I just want to touch on a couple of them. The one thing that you mentioned about was resting. And I know a lot of times people have so much going on that they almost have to take a rest. So you said to plan a rest.
Yes.
Yeah, so I appreciated that. And then the other, I guess, a quick question is, now the work. I'm a videographer by profession, and a lot of times I get my social life is surrounded around the people who I work with and the different events that I go to. So should there be a distinction between that of I guess I'm kind of intertwining the work with the socialization. So should there be a difference in between those, or is that okay? Or oh, I'm hoping hoping you're understanding the question that I'm asking.
When we talk about rest, you want to make sure, and when you talk about play, you want to separate work, where you create your wealth from, and really things of enjoyment. A lot of times you say, "Well, I enjoy being a videographer," but it's closely related also to where you get your compensation from. Now, if it's something you're doing that's totally non-compensated, something you're doing because you desire to do it, then that can be a restful situation. You want to plan that. But when I'm talking about rest, we need to cease from our labors, from our activities. You know, the word tells us labor not, not just to get wealth, but not to get anything. When you're in the resting state, you have the ability to activate your imaginative faculty. You have the ability to just close your eyes and envision. So resting meaning you're not exerting energy. You're really resting. Does that help?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Awesome. Good, good. Excellent. Thank you for tuning in with that question, Brother Al. I'm looking down through here. Let me see. I think somebody just sent me a message. Okay, so that's not that. So no one else has anything you want to add? And no aha moments, no reflective thoughts that you want to share. I'm looking here. We do have a number of people watching us on the Oasis-Everywhere Serendipity Sunday seminar that's on that YouTube channel. If you are not familiar with the YouTube channel, you can go to YouTube and type in Oasis New Thought Center. And as you go there, you will be able to you can click live to see the teachings that have gone forth live. You can also click on the videos. There's over 300 and some odd videos out there. So I encourage you to go back out there and look around. Awesome. So there's no further questions. No hands are raised. So what I want to do, wait a minute, I think I got one here. No, somebody did. So awesome. Let me ask you, what's your biggest takeaway? I like audience participation. So if you can type in what your biggest takeaway has been from today's 10 steps, I really would appreciate if you would consider doing that. Some right then. What one thing did you leave with? What was your takeaway this morning? Okay, so I don't see any takeaways being listed. Maybe you're multitasking. Maybe you didn't get anything, but I'm believing that you did. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for today and tell you I look forward to seeing some of you in the 6 o'clock hour on tomorrow for our morning meditation. And then I will get this together and send it out to those of you who expressed a desire to have it. I see I do have one other Cheryl said her biggest takeaway is to get some rest, and that's apropos for you, particularly, young lady, always on the go 24/7. Carve out some time to take some rest. Now I want to say something to you, not you, Cheryl, but to all of us. If we don't take rest, you'll get rest. That means your body will break down. Usually sickness, disease, incidents, accidents happens. Things happen where you would have to settle down, settle in. And it's one thing to do it because you know it's to be done, needs to be done. But it's another thing when life itself helps you out and you find yourself in a situation where you can't move around like you usually move. So take some time and acknowledge to the universe that you're listening, that you understand that it's not about doing, it's about being. A lot of what we do is to be versus being, then you don't have to do. If you be it, you will express it. If you do it, you may never be it. Think about that. We spend so much time doing things to be versus being and do. That is, your fruit will speak of what you are. All right. My takeaway is my strength for wellness. Yes. Yes. Take time. You rest also. That'll encourage your wellness. Doing little things that could letting go of things can add to your well-being. Taking on things can add to your well-being. That's yourself. What should I take on to enhance my wellness? It may be cooking something that you don't cook. It may be eating something that you don't normally eat, adding something to your diet. It could be taking a few moments throughout the day to stand up, to stretch, to just do things that represent wellness or adds to your wellness. Good, good. Okay, well, you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you in the 6 o'clock hour this week. Or if not, I'll see you on next week. Peace.